Welcome, it's Mr. Sindel here. Today's lesson is 1-14, area of composite shapes, and also, I guess, area on grids. Today's date is Thursday, September 26, 2019. Yeah, so we have 2 homework assignments tonight, and we have no Friday. You guys are not here tomorrow. It's a 3-day weekend, woo! But not for Mr. Sindel. I have to be here tomorrow. All right, is there a tear? Is anyone crying?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. No. Objective. Who can do that? Oh, first hand up was definitely Jessica.
I object to the objective.
There it is. So there are 2 parts to our objective today. Area on grids is the first half, 1 homework assignment. The second homework assignment is composite shapes. There are no questions. And we begin. So here is a strategy. Whenever I see something that looked like example 1, where you have a grid, if you see a grid, this is your general strategy. You're going to outline a shape to make a, what is the easiest, with the quiet raised hand, what is the easiest shape that we based everything off of yesterday? What is always our easiest shape that we always go back to geometry? Who has their card? Gunnar has his card.
Triangle?
Triangle's even harder. You still get your 50.
Polygon?
Keep going.
Quadrilateral?
Even easier. Keep going. Easiest possible thing is literally multiplication. There it is.
Circle?
Write it down. Rectangle.
You didn't. I thought of that. No, you didn't. I was listening to you. No, you didn't.
Josie
I did not
gets
need
80
help.
XP for helping.
I did not need help.
Yeah, I think you might have needed help there. That is the executive decision there. Okay, so if you can make a rectangle by outlining your shape, you're in good shape. Pun intended. Okay, so you're going to find the area of the removed shapes and then subtract them from the area of the rectangle. That might not make sense when I'm saying it in words, but it will make sense once we do example 1. So here's example 1. That looks like a hard shape to find the area of. We are going to outline this with a rectangle. Do that now. Outline this with a rectangle. Here's my outline. Rectangle, comes right there. Rectangle, out to there. Rectangle, and bada bing, bada boom, I have a rectangle. It might be a square. It will definitely be a rectangle if you are on a grid that is your normal coordinate plane. I mean, you can have a hexagonal grid, but generally speaking, we have this rectangular coordinate plane.
Is there hexagonal on graph paper?
There is, yeah. It's really good for when you're taking organic chemistry in college. Because organic chemistry, you have to write out all of the chemical formulas, and they're all hexagons, so it's kind of nice to have. But coming back to example 1, we now have a rectangle. Let's go ahead and write a shape for the rectangle. This rectangle. The area of that rectangle is what? Quiet raised hand. How do I find the area of the rectangle, and what is it? You're going to count. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the area of that rectangle? Who can tell me? What am I going to do? Base it off of yesterday's lesson. Quiet raised hand. Not a single hand is up. I'm really scared that we failed 8th grade math.
I did.
Jose, your card should already be in for the warm-up, so I'll take that already. Sergio, yes. Base times height, exactly. So, and it's 6 and 8, so my answer is 48. Everyone write it out. Our area of the base rectangle is 48. But this area isn't a rectangle. We have this kind of triangle, empty space that we need to subtract. This triangle that we need to subtract. That triangle that we need to subtract. And that triangle that we need to subtract from our overlying rectangle shape. So we need to find the area of each of these triangles. Let's do it. There's going to be 4 volunteers. You can say, I volunteer for the top left. I volunteer for the top right. Bottom left.
I volunteer for the
Is
top
there a
right.
quiet raised hand for a card? You need to be able to do this right now. Triangles. Andres, I'll take it.
Top right.
Top right. How do I do the top right?
So you gotta count squares.
Yes, I count.
1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
4, 5.
And I get what area for the triangle?
So it would be base times height. 5 times 4, 20.
Okay. I get 20, and then I do what?
And then you divide by 2.
And I get?
10.
Label it. That triangle right there has an area of 10. If you want to have some system, I think maybe if you circle it, you'll remember that that's the area, not some length. All right, Andres gets his 50 XP. Thank you, Fern. All right, so next triangle. Who's our next volunteer? Andres is ready to go again. Question.
What if there's no full squares?
What if there's no four full squares?
There's like 20.
Well, it doesn't matter because this triangle right here is a perfect triangle. Like, I agree that this isn't a perfect whole square, but it is, all of these points will be on a perfect intersection, a lattice point, so we will have exactly 5 by exactly 4 every single time. I'm not going to give you like 5.5 or anything.
Can I point something?
Yeah, what do you want?
So the top right triangle is congruent to the bottom right triangle.
It's, yeah. All right, did everyone hear what Andres just said? Jenny, what did Andres just say?
Yeah.
One more time,
I said that the top right triangle and the bottom right triangle are congruent.
All right, so we're done. We're done with the bottom right. Go ahead and say that the bottom right triangle is also 10. Circle it. I need someone to volunteer for the bottom left or the top left. Who can do those triangles? I'll even give you this easy ability to count squares. I know counting is hard. If I count that square as 1, whew, that was hard work. I'm like sweating. All right, let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that triangle. This one is 1 by 1. I shouldn't circle that one. That would be missed. There we go. 7, 1, and 1. All right. Who wants to do one of those triangles? Come on, you guys know how to do triangles. We just did one for the warm-up. Someone do either this triangle or that triangle. We're going to have to go with Andres again. We have Sergio. Anyone with a card? No one with a card? No one can do area of triangles? Come on, guys. You got this. I'll walk you through. I'll help you. Sergio, go.
So 1 times 1.
You're doing bottom left. 1 times 1.
1.
And?
2.
Yep.
0.5.
Okay, so that is 0.5. Thank you, Sergio. And it is 50 XP. Fern's got you. I need someone to do the top left triangle. It is going to be another decimal, which is scary. It's okay. Mr. Sindell's here to protect you from the big bad decimal. Cohen, yes. It is 3.5. How did you get 3.5? There it is. Yeah, 7 divided by 2 is indeed 3.5. That is the area of this triangle. Oops, a little bit too far. Of this triangle right there. So we now need to do 48 minus all of these. So I can say 48, which is the rectangle, minus 10, minus 10, minus 3.5, minus 0.5. That's one way to show your work, and that's probably what most of you are going to do. Another way to show your work, just to show you a different perspective, you do not need to write this down if you do not want. You could say, well, I'm just going to add all those triangles together first and then subtract that. That's the same thing as saying 48 minus, in parentheses, I'm going to add all these together, 10 plus 10 plus 3.5 plus 3, or not 3.5, plus 0.5. I add these together and then subtract them from 48. Question, Sergio.
Can you like simplify? Use the 20 minus 24.
Yeah, you can totally simplify that. So this is now going to be written as 48 still. I should write it on this line up here. 48 minus, this is 20. 3.5 plus 0.5 is 4. 20 plus 4 is 24. So it's going to be minus 24. Quiet raised hand. Can someone do 48 minus 24? Gunnar? It is indeed 24. 24 what?
Area points. Unit square.
Unit square. There it is. All right. Let's look at example 2. I will help you divide this one up because this one can be tricky. It's not just triangles this time. There's going to be a rectangle, a tiny rectangle inside the bigger rectangle. So first, outline this with a rectangle. Everyone should be outlining. Everyone outline right now. Outline this with a rectangle. Then divide this one up into triangles and you will have at least one rectangle. So be careful when you're dividing example number 2 up. I'm going to walk around and help everyone right now. All right, so everyone has the rectangle. It looks like that. Chunk, 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 and chunk. The hard part is dividing this thing up. If you haven't gotten it already, here's how you divide it up. If you divide it up this way, I have only right triangles. Right triangles are the easiest triangle. It's very easy to see what the base and the height is. So this has a base and a height. It doesn't matter which one you think of. The top left. Top left, you're good. But bottom right, though, you have to have a triangle, and a rectangle. I think most of the time you'll usually get triangles, but in rare cases you might get a rectangle. So be warned. When you have a rectangle, rectangles are still easy to find. Let's find the big rectangle. The big rectangle. What is that guy? Quiet raise hand. Who can find the area of the big rectangle? Exactly, like that. Oh my gosh, it's just Andres and Sergio over and over again. Come on, someone else. Fern did the warm-ups. Anyone new? Someone that has their card. Fern, we'll go with you.
5 times 6.
It is indeed 5 times 6, which is?
30, and then divide by 2, right?
No, it's just a rectangle. So there's no triangle.
There's student Aaron.
If you, oh yeah, you're doing this triangle. What would that triangle right here in the top left be?
Oh, that'd be
15, because you divide that whole rectangle by 2 and you get 15. All right. So Fern did 2 steps for us. It's still only 50 XP, but thank you, Fern. Now we need to find the area of this tiny rectangle, this tiny rectangle, this tiny, or I'm not saying rectangle, this tiny triangle, this tiny triangle, this tiny rectangle. There's 3 volunteers. Come on, easy XP. Get everyone in. You guys got this. Triangles over and over again.
Volunteers tribute.
Who's got this? I'm guessing Andres and Sergio are going to volunteer again. Those are our backups. Fern's going to volunteer. Come on, guys. Can't just be the 3 people over and over again. Any of these 3. Any of these 3. I'm going to cold call. I'm cold calling someone that still has their card. I'm totally doing it. Monse.
The one over here?
Bottom left? Top right? The bottom right?
No. The one on top of it.
Yes.
The one on top of
4. How'd you get 4?
4.
This length right here is 4. 2. So this area is indeed 4. Thank you. I'll take your card, Monse. I can no longer cold call on you. All right. Someone new. Someone that still has their card. Give me an area of one of these 2 things. Either the rectangle or the triangle. Josie, yes. What is the area of that?
2.
It is indeed 2 because it's 2 by 1. 2 times 1 is indeed 2. We'll circle it. Thank you, Josie. And Fern's tapping away fiercely over there to get Monse and Josie's XP. And then my final triangle. Again, someone new. I'll count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1. It's a 4 by 1 triangle. A base of 4, a height of 1. Someone that has their card. You need to participate. Cohen already has his card in though. Someone new. We have Jessica, Jenny, and Eder. One of you 3.
2.
It is indeed 2, Eder. I'll take your card. Why is it 2?
Get 4 times 1.
4 times 1?
Divided by 2. 2.
Perfect. It is indeed 2, and you gave the good explanation, 4 by 1. All right, so now we need to do that problem. Oh wait, I'm kind of curious. It doesn't really matter in terms of the math, but how many of you like doing it the blue way, and how many of you like doing it the yellow way? Do blue is 1, yellow is 2. Which one do you like more? Hold up fingers.
Listen their way.
Okay, most people are putting up a 2, so I'm going to do it the 2 way. I know that some people did it 1. Sorry, Josie. We're going to do it the yellow way, which is doing it this way. So I'm going to say 30, which is that whole area, and then I have to subtract those other shapes. 30 minus, we had 15. We had 4, we had 2, and we had 2. Is there a quiet raised hand that can do all the math and give me my final answer in units squared and box it? Who can do the final answer? This is a bunch of like 1st grade math now. We got this, guys.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, Jose.
So it'd be 30 minus 23.
It is indeed 30 minus 23. 4 plus 2 plus 2, that's 8. 8 plus 15 is 23. And 30 minus 23 is?
See it.
Andres, you've been warned.
What?
But 2 people did it. Fernando and Andres. You both got HP off. Stop shouting out answers.
No,
It's just a procedure. It's just 5. Andres, you can use Mirror Mana Shield.
Yay, let's go.
But you still take damage.
Oh.
And then Fern, where are you? Incorrect procedure. 5. Yeah, Mana Shield. Sure, you can absorb all of it. No damage.
I don't have AP.
Gunner. 7
A unit squared.
squared. There it is. All right. Perfecto. We're on the back. On the back. As people are flipping over, this is a good time to ask. Fist of 5. Shapes on a grid. How well can you do them? Fist of 5. Show me fist of 5. How confident are you? 4, 4. I'm looking at the people that didn't participate to make sure that they're okay. All right. We're moving on. Question. Is it one of these? Again, we have a question, the Q up here, the sign language, in case you forgot it, underneath the clock.
What's the R?
R is for restroom. Q is for question. A, I guess, is for answer. Is C like this? Is that
Whoa, yo, whoa, that's
Sit
a
down.
C? Is this C?
That's a gang sign. It's a gang sign.
Does anyone know sign language?
That's actual gang sign.
I already did that yesterday and you screamed at her for doing a game.
It's not a gang sign. I was incorrect.
It's
We can even do C for comment if you want. Like, I have a comment.
That's the truth.
Anyway,
Let's
let's talk about composite shapes. Example 3 and example 4. These are what I consider to be composite shapes because they are made up of other shapes. Composite just means you glued a bunch of 2D shapes together. All right, so here's your general strategy. You can do 2 different things. Ay, ay, ay. So there are 2 different strategies. You have your original strategy. Your original strategy is to outline the shape to make a rectangle and then find the area of the removed shapes. That was the strategy that we just did. But sometimes you can even go from the other direction. You can break down the complex polygon into, what's a good word to fill in here? Something that you know how to find the area of. Who's paying attention? What makes sense for this underline, this empty space? Break down the complex polygon into what? Andres?
Shapes.
Yeah, there you go. Nice and easy. Shapes. Shapes that you know how to find the area of. Well, you know how to find a rectangle. You know how to do a triangle. You know how to do a trapezoid. If you can break it down into those 3 components, then you can find the individual area of each of those shapes. So, let's apply one of these strategies. You can do example, or strategy 1 or 2. I don't care which one. For example, number 3, I need to find its area. Let's try doing, actually, strategy 1, just so that we have a variety of strategies. So, if I break this up into the shapes that it's made out of, I don't have to do any subtraction. It's literally adding, adding, adding. So here's how I'm going to break this up. I'm going to break it up right here, and I'll get a triangle. I'm going to get a triangle down there. It's kind of already broken up for me, triangle and a rectangle. Just by drawing a straight line there, I can already see that there are going to be 4 shapes. Big triangle, medium triangle, small triangle, and a rectangle. Everyone nod your head. You see the 3 shapes. Everyone nod your heads. You're awake. All right. So, now you need to find the areas. So, I need 4 more volunteers. I need to get everyone to volunteer at least once in this class. So we're still waiting on Jessica and Jenny. I need to find these shapes. Jessica and Jenny, you got to do 2 of them. You get first picks. What are you going to do?
I put my card in.
You turn your card in? Okay, so it's just Jenny?
I mean, I
Okay. Jenny, what do you want to do?
I mean,
Your first choice.
bottom.
The bottom rectangle? Bottom triangle?
Yeah.
Okay, bottom rectangle. What are you going to do? What is the area of it? 2 by 3. Thank you. You can turn in your card. 50 XP. Woo! And if everyone has their card turned in, Fernando, you can give everyone the 100 XP because everyone's card is in. There it is. 6. Circle it. Next one. Sergio, go. Big one. Big triangle. 2 plus 3. So this whole length right here is indeed 8. 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 8. 8 by 5. 20. Again, making sure that everyone has the logic. It is indeed 20. We did 2 plus 3, because if this is a rectangle, 3 and 3, they're the same length. Plus 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 8. This whole length is 8. 8 times 5 was 40, but it's a triangle, so it's always half of 40, which is 20. All right, next shape, triangle. Who's doing medium? Who's doing small? Come on, quiet raise hands. Multiple people. Let's go nice and fast through this. Fernando, go.
3 times 2 is 6 divided by 2 is 3.
Perfect. And Cohen, you do the last one. Indeed, it is 2. We just need to add those all up. Final volunteer. Fernando's tapping away like crazy over there getting XP. Add them together. 20 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3, Andres, is?
31.
It is indeed 31. So 20 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 is equal to 21 what, Andres?
Units squared.
There it is. Units squared.
Isn't it 31?
Oh, I don't know why I put, yeah, thank you.
Teacher.
Yeah, you get it. 31 units. Cannot spell. Units squared. And Fernando, can you give Jose the 70 XP and Jose log in your extra credit tracker? Let's go to example number 4. You do this one on your own. Check with your neighbors. Good luck. Go. All right, for example 4, one of the ways that you can do it is you can make a giant rectangle by extending this line and this line, and you get the entire rectangle is 3 by 7, which is 21. I can find the area of this triangle, which is 4 times 1, which is 4. Divided by 2 is 2, and then I can subtract 2 from 21 and get 19. The other way of doing it is by adding shapes, and I could go like this. So if let me do it in orange. I think it might pop out a little bit better. If I do this in orange, if I cut it off right, oh, that does not show up at all. Let me do black. That shows up a little bit better. If I cut that up, if I cut this off right here, then I have this length is 3, this length is 2, and I'm finding the area of the trapezoid. Well, I add 3 and 2 together, and I get 5. And then I multiply it by the height. The height here is not 7, though. The height here is 4 because it's 7 minus 3. This 7 minus the 3 to get 4. And then I'm going to multiply the height of the rectangle is 4. So 5 times 4 is 20 divided by 2 to get 10 for this area. And 3 times 3 is 9 for this area. 9 plus 10 is indeed 19 units squared. So there are 2 ways to do that one. Give me a fist of 5 on the composite shapes now. So the back side. Do an example 3 and example 4. Give me a fist of 5 on those types of problems. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. Is that a 5, Andres?
No, it's 4.
A 4. All right, a little bit lower. All right, so when we work on Khan Academy, begin on composite shapes first. That way I can help you guys out. So when you're done with this, start on Khan Academy, do composite shapes, and then do shapes on grids.